Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to Henry VI, Part 2. I am Pemberton. This is Part 3, and the murder at the heart of the play is done. Good Duke Humphrey is found dead in his bed, smothered by Suffolk's hired men, and the gentle Cane, roused for once to grief and anger, swoons and then turns on his favourite. The Earl of Warwick examines the body and proves before them all that the Duke was murdered. The outraged Commons rise and force the King to banish Suffolk for his life. There follows a strange, guilty love scene as Suffolk and Queen Margaret part in sorrow. The wicked Cardinal Beaufort, who helped to compass the murder, dies raving and despairing in his bed, clutching at the phantom of the man he killed. Out on the narrow seas the banished Suffolk is taken by pirates, reviled for all his crimes, and beheaded by a common sailor. And in the vacuum of order, down in Kent, a savage clothiers man named Cade gathers the rabble of the county and proclaims himself the rightful heir, promising a topsy-turvy commonwealth of free bread and dead lawyers. Let us go on.
2 or 3 murderers run across the stage, coming from the murder of Duke Humphrey. Run to my Lord of Suffolk. Tell him we have dealt with the Duke, just as he commanded. Oh, I wish it were still undone. What have we done? Did you ever hear a man so full of repentance? Suffolk enters. Here comes my lord. Now, sirs, have you finished this business? Yes, my good lord. He is dead. That is well said. Go to my house. I will reward you for this dangerous deed. The king and all the peers are close by. Have you arranged the bed neatly? Is everything done according to the directions I gave you? It is, my good lord. Away with you. Go. The murderers leave. Trumpets sound. The king, the queen, Cardinal Beaufort, Somerset, and attendants enter. Go and call our uncle here at once. Say that we mean to examine his grace today, to see whether he is guilty as people are saying. I will call him immediately, my noble lord. Suffolk exits. Lords, take your places. And I beg you all, do not proceed more severely against our uncle Gloucester than honest evidence and fair judgment prove him guilty of wrongdoing. God forbid that malice should succeed in condemning a blameless nobleman. I pray God he may clear himself of suspicion. I thank you, Mag. These words greatly comfort me. Suffolk enters. What is this? Why do you look so pale? Why are you trembling? Where is our uncle? What is the matter, Suffolk? Dead in his bed, my lord. Gloucester is dead. Holy Mary, God forbid. God's hidden judgment. I dreamed tonight that the Duke was mute and could not speak a word. The king faints. How is my lord? Help, lords. The king is dead. Lift up his body. Pinch his nose. Run, go help. Oh, Henry, open your eyes. He is coming back to life. Madam, be patient. Oh, heavenly God. How is my gracious lord? Take comfort, my sovereign. Gracious Henry, take comfort. What does my lord of Suffolk comfort me? He came just now to sing the raven's note, whose dreadful sound robbed me of life itself, and now he thinks the chirping of a wren, crying comfort from an empty heart, can drive away that first terrible sound? Do not hide your poison with sweet words. Do not put your hands on me. Keep away, I say. Their touch frightens me like a serpent's sting. You fatal messenger, get out of my sight. Murderous tyranny sits in terrible majesty on your eyes, frightening the world. Do not look at me, for your eyes wound me. And yet do not go away. Come here, basilisk, and kill the innocent onlooker with your gaze. In the shadow of death I will find joy. In life there is only a double death. Now Gloucester is dead. Why do you scold my lord of Suffolk this way? Though the Duke was his enemy, he mourns his death like a true Christian. And as for me, though he was my enemy too, if flowing tears, heart-wounding groans, or life-draining sighs could call him back, I would weep myself blind, groan myself sick, grow pale as a primrose with blood-consuming sighs, all to have the noble Duke alive again. How do I know what the world may think of me? Everyone knows we were only hollow friends. People may decide that I had the Duke killed. Then my name will be wounded by slander's tongue, and princes' courts will be filled with blame against me. This is what I gained by his death. Ah, poor unhappy me, to be a queen and crowned with disgrace! Ah, woe is me for Gloucester, wretched man! Feel woe for me, more wretched than he is. What, do you turn away and hide your face? I am no hateful leper. Look at me. What, have you grown deaf like the adder? Then be poisonous too, and kill your abandoned queen. Is all your comfort shut up in Gloucester's tomb? If so, then Dame Margaret was never your joy. Raise a statue of him and worship it, and make my image nothing but an alehouse sign. Was I nearly wrecked at sea for this, and twice driven back from England's shore by contrary winds to my own country? What did that mean, except that the warning wind seemed to say, do not seek a scorpion's nest, and do not set foot on this cruel shore? What did I do then but curse the gentle winds, and curse him who released them from their brazen caves, and command them to blow us toward England's blessed shore, or else turn our stern upon a dreadful rock? Yet Iollas would not be a murderer, but left that hateful office to you. The pretty, vaulting sea refused to drown me, knowing that you would drown me on shore with tears as salty as the sea, through your unkindness. The The splitting rocks sank back into the sand, and would not smash me with their jagged sides, because your stony heart, harder than they, might destroy Margaret in your palace. As long as I could see your chalk white cliffs when the tempest beat us back from your shore, I stood on the hatches in the storm. And when the dark sky began to steal from my straining eyes the sight of your land, I took a costly jewel from my neck, a heart bound around with diamonds, and threw it toward your land. The sea received it, and I wished your body might receive my heart the same way. At that moment I lost sight of fair England, and told my eyes to go along with my heart. I called them blind and darkened spectacles for losing sight of Albion's longed for coast. How often I have urged Suffolk's tongue, the agent of your vile inconstancy, to sit and enchant me, as Ascanius did when he told maddened Dido the deeds of his father begun in burning Troy. Am I not bewitched like her? Are you not false like him? Ami, I can say no more. Die, Margaret, for Henry weeps because you lived so long. A noise is heard within. Warwick, Salisbury, and many commons enter. It is being reported, mighty sovereign, that good Duke Humphrey has been treacherously murdered through the means of Suffolk and Cardinal Beaufort. The common people, like an angry hive of bees without their leader, scatter everywhere and do not care whom they sting in revenge for him. I have calmed their bitter mutiny, until they can hear the manner of his death. That he is dead, good Warwick, is too true. But how he died, God knows, not Henry. Go into his chamber, look at his breathless body, and then give your judgment on his sudden death. I will do that, my liege. Stay, Salisbury, with the rough crowd until I return. Warwick exits through one door. Salisbury and the commons exit through another. Oh, you who judge all things, restrain my thoughts that labor to persuade my soul that violent hands were laid on Humphrey's life. If my suspicion is false, forgive me, God, for judgment belongs only to you. I would gladly go and warm his pale lips with 20,000 kisses, and pour an ocean of salt tears upon his face, to tell my love to his mute and deaf body, and with my fingers feel his unfeeling hand. But these poor funeral acts would all be useless. And to look upon his dead, earthly image, what would that do except make my sorrow greater? Warwick and others enter, carrying Gloucester's body on a bed. Come here, gracious sovereign, and look at this body. That is to see how deep my grave has been dug, for with his soul all my worldly comfort fled. Looking at him I see my life in death. As surely as my soul hopes to live with that dread king who took our condition upon himself to free us from his father's wrathful curse, I believe that violent hands were laid upon the life of this XIII famous duke. A dreadful oath, sworn with a solemn tongue. What proof does Lord Warwick give for his vow? Look how the blood has settled in his face. I have often seen a man newly dead look ash, grey, thin, pale, and bloodless, because all the blood has gone down to the struggling heart. In its fight with death, the heart draws that blood to help it against the enemy. There it cools, and never returns to blush and brighten the cheek again. But look, his face is black and full of blood. His eyes bulge farther out than they did when he was alive, staring horribly like a strangled man. His hair stands up, his nostrils are stretched from struggling, and his hands are spread out, like someone who grasped and pulled for life and was overpowered by force. Look, you can see his hair sticking to the sheets. His well-shaped beard is rough and disordered, like summer corn beaten flat by a storm. It can only be that he was murdered here. Even the smallest of these signs would make that likely. Why, Warwick, who would have killed the Duke? Beaufort and I had him in our protection, and I hope, sir, that we are no murderers. But both of you were sworn enemies to Duke Humphrey, and you, of all men, had the good Duke in your keeping. It is likely you did not entertain him as a friend, and it is plain enough that he found an enemy. Then it seems you suspect these noblemen of being guilty of Duke Humphrey's untimely death. If a man finds a heifer dead and freshly bleeding, and sees a butcher standing nearby with an axe, who would not suspect that he made the slaughter? If a man finds a partridge in a hawk's nest, can he not imagine how the bird died, even if the kite soars above with an unbloodied beak? This tragedy gives just as much cause for suspicion. Are you the butcher, Suffolk? Where is your knife? His bow, for being called a kite? Where are his talons? I carry no knife for slaughtering sleeping men, but here is a sword of vengeance, rusted from idleness, which shall be cleaned in the bitter heart of the man who brands me with the red mark of murder. Say, if you dare, proud lord of Warwickshire, that I am guilty in Duke Humphrey's death. Cardinal, Somerset, and others leave. What does Warwick not dare, if false Suffolk dares him? He does not dare quiet his insulting spirit, nor stop being an arrogant critic, though Suffolk dares him 20,000 times. Madam, be silent, if I may say so with respect, for every word you speak in his defence slanders your royal dignity. Dull, witted lord, base in your behaviour. If ever a lady wronged her husband deeply, then your mother took into her shameful bed some stern, untaught peasant, and noble stock was grafted with a wild crab-apple shoot, whose fruit is you. You were never of the noble race of the Nevilles. If the guilt of murder did not shield you, and if killing you would not rob the executioner of his fee, sparing you 10,000 public shames, and if my sovereign's presence did not make me mild, I would, false murderous coward, force you to your knees, make you beg pardon for the words you just spoke, and make you say it was your own mother you meant, and that you yourself were born a bastard. Then after all that frightened homage had been done, I would give you your payment and send your soul to hell, you deadly blood, sucker of sleeping men. You shall be awake while I spill your blood, if you dare leave this presence with me. Come away this instant, or I will drag you out. Unworthy as you are, I will face you, and do some service to Duke Humphrey's ghost. Suffolk and Warwick leave. What stronger breastplate is there than an unstained heart? The man whose cause is just is armed 3 times over, but the man whose conscience is corrupted by injustice is naked, even if he is locked inside steel. A noise is heard within. What noise is this? Suffolk and Warwick enter with their weapons drawn. What is this, my lords? Your angry weapons drawn here in our presence? Dare you be so bold? What riotous clamour is this? The traitorous Warwick, with the men of Berry, set upon me all at once, mighty sovereign. Salisbury enters. Sirs, stand apart. The king shall hear what you want. Dread lord, the commons send word to you through me. Unless Lord Suffolk is put to death at once, or banished from fair England's lands, they will violently tear him from your palace and torture him with a grievous, lingering death. They say that through him the good Duke Humphrey died. They say that in him they fear your highness's death. It is only the instinct of love and loyalty, free from any stubborn wish to oppose you or seem to contradict your will, that makes them so urgent for his banishment. They say, out of care for your most royal person, that if your highness meant to sleep and commanded that no man disturb your rest, on pain of your displeasure, or of death, still, despite such a strict order, if a serpent with a forked tongue were seen gliding slyly toward your majesty, it would be necessary to wake you, for fear that, if you were left in that dangerous sleep, the deadly worm might make your sleep eternal. Therefore they cry out, though you forbid them, that they will guard you, whether you will or not, from such cruel serpents as false Suffolk is, whose poison and fatal sting, they say, has shamefully robbed your loving uncle of life, a man worth 20 times as much as he. An answer from the king, my lord of Salisbury. It is just like the commons, those rude, unpolished peasants, to send such a message to their sovereign. But you, my lord, were glad to be employed, so you could show what a clever speaker you are. Yet all the honour Salisbury has won is that he served as the Lord Ambassador sent from a pack of tinkers to the king. An answer from the king, or we will all break in. Go, Salisbury, and tell them all for me that I thank them for their tender, loving care. Even if they had not summoned me to this, I had already intended to do what they ask. For surely my thoughts foretell, hour by hour, misfortune to my rule through Suffolk's means. Therefore, by his majesty, whose far unworthy deputy I am, I swear that he shall not breathe infection in this air more than 3 days longer, on pain of death. Salisbury leaves. O Henry, let me plead for gentle Suffolk. And gentle Queen, to call him gentle Suffolk. No more, I say. If you plead for him, you will only increase my anger. If I had merely said it, I would have kept my word, but when I swear, it cannot be revoked. If after 3 days have passed, you are found anywhere on any ground that I rule, the whole world shall not ransom your life. Come, Warwick, come, good Warwick, go with me. I have important matters to share with you. All leave except Queen and Suffolk. May misfortune and sorrow go with you. May heart's discontent and bitter affliction be playmates to keep you company. There are 2 of you, may the devil make a 3rd. And may triple vengeance follow your steps. Stop these curses, gentle Queen, and let your Suffolk make his sorrowful farewell. Shame on you, cowardly woman and soft-hearted wretch. Have you no spirit to curse your enemies? A plague upon them. Why should I curse them? If curses could kill, as the mandrake's groan is said to do, I would invent words as bitter and piercing, as cursed, harsh, and horrible to hear, forced strongly through my clenched teeth, with as many signs of deadly hatred as lean faced envy in her hateful cave. My tongue would stumble over my earnest words. My eyes would flash like struck flint. My hair would stand on end like a madman's. Yes, every joint in my body would seem to curse and condemn them. Even now my burdened heart would break if I did not curse them. Let poison be their drink. Let gall, worse than gall, be the finest thing they taste. Let their sweetest shade be a grove of cypress trees. Let their best view be murdering basilisks. Let their softest touch sting as sharply as lizards' stings. Let their music be as frightening as the serpent's hiss, and let ominous screech howls complete the concert. All the foul terrors in deep dark hell. Enough, sweet Suffolk. You are tormenting yourself, and these dreadful curses, like sunlight striking glass or like an overcharged gun, recoil and turn their force back upon you. You told me to curse, and now will you tell me to stop? Now, by the ground from which I am banished, I could curse away a winter's night, even standing naked on a mountain top where the biting cold would never let grass grow, and think it only a minute spent in sport. Oh, let me beg you, stop. Give me your hand, so I can wet it with my sorrowful tears. Do not let the rain from heaven fall on this spot and wash away the sad marks I leave. Oh, if only this kiss could be stamped into your hand, so that the mark would make you remember the woman who breathes 1,000 sighs for you. Now go, so I can truly understand my grief. While you stand beside me, I only imagine it, like someone made sick by thinking about something he lacks. I will have your banishment revoked, or else, be sure of it, I will risk being banished myself. And I am banished already, if I am separated from you. Go. Do not speak to me. Go now. Oh, do not go yet. This is how 2 condemned friends embrace and kiss and take 10,000 farewells, 100 times more unwilling to part than to die. Yet now farewell, and with you farewell life. So poor Suffolk is banished 10 times over, once by the king and 9 times by you. It is not the land I care about if you were away from it too. A wilderness would be crowded enough for me if Suffolk had your heavenly company. Wherever you are, there is the whole world with every separate pleasure the world contains, and wherever you are not, there is only desolation. I can say no more. Live and enjoy your life. As for me, I have no joy in anything except that you are alive. Fox enters. Where is Fox going so quickly? What news, I beg you? I am going to inform His Majesty that Cardinal Beaufort is near death. A sudden, terrible sickness has taken him, making him gasp, stare, and clutch at the air, blaspheming God and cursing men on earth. At times he speaks as if Duke Humphrey's ghost were standing beside him. At times he calls for the king, then whispers to his pillow as if it were the king himself, telling it the secrets of his overburdened soul. I have been sent to tell His Majesty that even now he is crying out loudly for him. Go and carry this grave message to the king. Fox exits. Me, what is this world? What news is this? But why should I grieve over the poor loss of a single hour, while I neglect Suffolk's exile, the treasure of my soul? Why, Suffolk, do I not mourn only for you, and compete with the southern clouds and tears theirs fallen to make the earth grow, mine falling for my sorrows? Now leave this place. You know the king is coming. If you are found with me, you are as good as dead. If I leave you, I cannot live. And to die in your sight, what would that be but a pleasant sleep in your lap? Here I could breathe my soul out into the air, as mild and gentle as a cradle baby dying with its mother's breast between its lips. But away from your sight, I would be raging mad, crying out for you to close my eyes, begging you to stop my mouth with your lips. Then you would either turn my departing soul back again, or I would breathe it into your body, where it would live in sweet Elysium. To die beside you would be only a playful death. To die away from you would be torture worse than death. Oh, let me stay, whatever may happen. Away! Though parting is a bitter, burning medicine, it must be applied to a deadly wound. Go to France, sweet Suffolk. Let me hear from you, for wherever you are on this globe of the world, I will have a messenger like Iris who will find you. I go. And take my heart with you. A jewel locked inside the saddest casket that ever held anything of worth. Like a split ship, we part in two. This way I go toward death, and this way I go toward mine. They exit separately. King Henry, Salisbury, and Warwick enter a bedchamber, where the cardinal lies in bed. How is my lord? Speak, Beaufort, to your king. If you are death, I will give you England's treasure, enough to buy another island like this one, if you will let me live and feel no pain. Ah, what a sign of an evil life it is when death's coming looks so terrifying. Beaufort, it is your king who is speaking to you. Bring me to my trial whenever you will. Did he not die in his bed? Where else should he die? Can I make men live whether they want to or not? Oh, torture me no more. I will confess. Alive again? Then show me where he is. I will give £1,000 just to look at him. He has no eyes, the dust has blinded them. Comb down his hair, look, it is standing upright like lime, twigs set out to catch my winged soul. Give me something to drink, and tell the apothecary to bring the strong poison I bought from him. O eternal mover of the heavens, look gently on this wretch. O drive away the busy meddling fiend that lays fierce siege to this poor man's soul and cleanse this black despair from his heart. See how the pains of death make him grimace. Do not disturb him, let him pass away peacefully. Peace to his soul, if that is God's good pleasure. Lord Cardinal, if you are thinking of heaven's bliss, hold up your hand and give a sign of your hope. He dies and gives no sign. O God, forgive him. Such a terrible death points to a monstrous life. Do not judge him, for we are all sinners. Close his eyes, draw the curtain shut, and let us all turn to meditation. An alarm sounds. A fight has taken place at sea and cannon fire is heard. A lieutenant enters with Suffolk, disguised and taken prisoner, along with the master's mate, Walter Whitmore, and other prisoners. The bright, talkative, pitying day has sunk into the sea. Now the loudly howling wolves wake the war, now horses that drag tragic, melancholy night, whose sleepy, slow, drooping wings brush over dead men's graves, while from her misty jaws she breathes foul, infectious darkness into the air. So bring out the soldiers we captured. While our pinnace lies anchored in the downs, they shall pay their ransom here on the sand, or stain this discolored shore with their blood. Master, I freely give you this prisoner. And you, his mate, take profit from this one. The other, Walter Whitmore, is your share. What is my ransom, master? Tell me. 1,000 crowns, or else lay down your head. And you must pay the same, or yours comes off too. What, do you think 2,000 crowns is too much to pay when you bear the name and appearance of gentlemen? Cut both the villains' throats, for you shall die. Shall the lives of those we lost in the fight be balanced against such a petty sum? I will pay it, sir, so spare my life. And so will I, and I will write home for it at once. I lost my eye while boarding the prize, and therefore, to avenge it, you shall die. And these men should die too, if I had my way. Do not be so rash. Take ransom and let him live. Look at my George, I am a gentleman. Set my ransom at whatever you wish, and you shall be paid. And so am I. My name is Walter Whitmore. What now? Why do you start? Does death frighten you? Your name frightens me, because death sounds in it. A cunning man once calculated my birth and told me I would die by water. Still, do not let that make you bloodthirsty. Your name is Gaultier if it is pronounced properly. Gaultier or Walter, whichever it is, I do not care. Base dishonor has never yet stained our name without our sword wiping the stain away. So when I sell revenge like a merchant, may my sword be broken, my arms torn and defaced, and may I be proclaimed a coward throughout the world. Wait, Whitmore, for your prisoner is a prince, the Duke of Suffolk, William de la Pole. The Duke of Suffolk wrapped up in rags? Yes, but these rags are no part of the Duke. Jove sometimes went disguised, and why should I not? But Jove was never killed, as you shall be. Obscure, low-born peasant, King Henry's blood, the honourable blood of Lancaster, must not be shed by such a war, now it grooms you. Have you not kissed your hand and held my stirrup? Have you not trudged bareheaded beside my foot, cloth mule, and thought yourself lucky when I merely nodded? How often have you waited at my cup, eaten from my trencher, and knelt at the table while I feasted with Queen Margaret? Remember that, and let it break your pride. Yes, let it cool this malformed arrogance of yours. How often have you stood in our withdrawing lobby and dutifully waited for me to come out? This hand of mine has written on your behalf, and therefore it should charm your riotous tongue into silence. Speak, Captain. Shall I stab this ruined peasant? First let my words stab him as have stabbed me. Base slave, your words are blunt, and so are you. Take him away, and beside our longboat strike off his head. You dare not, for fear of your own. Yes, pull. 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 Sir, pull. Lord. Yes, kennel, puddle, drain, whose filth and dirt muddy the silver spring from which England drinks. Now I will stop up the gaping mouth of yours, which has swallowed the treasure of the realm. Your lips, which kiss the Queen, shall sweep the ground. And you, who smiled at good Duke Humphrey's death, shall grin in vain against the senseless winds, which will hiss back at you in contempt. Be married to the hags of hell for daring to betroth a mighty lord to the daughter of a worthless king, who had neither subjects, wealth, nor crown. By devilish policy you have grown great, and like ambitious Scylla, you are overstuffed with chunks of your mother's bleeding heart. For you Anjou and Maine were sold to France. For you the false, rebellious Normans scorned to call us lord. Picardy has killed its governors, taken our forts by surprise, and sent our ragged soldiers home wounded. The princely Warwick and all the Nevilles, whose dreadful swords were never drawn in vain, are rising in arms because they hate you. And now the House of York, thrust from the crown by the shameful murder of an innocent king and by high, proud, grasping tyranny, burns with the fire of revenge. Their hopeful colours raise our half-faced sun struggling to shine, and beneath it is written, in spite of unwilling clouds. The commons here in Kent are up in arms. And to conclude, reproach and poverty have crept into the palace of our king, all because of you. Away! Take him from here. Oh, that I were a god, so I could shoot thunder down on these paltry, servile, abject drudges. Small things make base men proud. This villain, merely captain of a pinnace, threatens more than Bargulus, the strong Illyrian pirate. Drones do not suck eagle's blood, they rob beehives. It is impossible that I should die by such a lowly vassal as you. Your words stir rage in me, not repentance. I am carrying a message from the Queen to France. I command you to ferry me safely across the channel. Walter. Come, Suffolk, I must ferry you to your death. Cold fear almost seizes my limbs. It is you I fear. You shall have cause to fear before I am done with you. What, are you daunted now? Will you bow now? My gracious lord, plead with him. Speak kindly to him. Suffolk's imperial tongue is stern and rough, used to command, and never taught to beg for favour. Far be it from us to honour men like these with humble pleading. No, sooner let my head stoop to the block than let these knees bow to anyone except the God of heaven and my king. I would sooner dance on a bloody pole than stand bareheaded before a common groom. True nobility is free from fear. I can endure more than you dare carry out. Drag him away and let him talk no more. Come, soldiers, show all the cruelty you can, so that this death of mine may never be forgotten. Great men often die by vile low fellows. A Roman swordsman, an outlaw slave murdered sweet Tully, Brutus's bastard hand stabbed Julius Caesar, savage islanders killed Pompey the Great, and Suffolk dies by pirates. Whitmore and others leave with Suffolk. As for these men whose ransom we have set, it is our pleasure that one of them depart. Therefore you come with us, and let him go. All leave except the one gentleman. Whitmore enters with Suffolk's body and head. There let his head and lifeless body lie, until the Queen, his mistress, buries it. Whitmore exits. O barbarous and bloody sight! I will carry his body to the king. If the king does not avenge it, his friends will, and so will the Queen, who loved him dearly while he lived. One gentleman exits with the body. George Bevis and John Holland enter. Come on, get yourself a sword, even if it is only made of wood. They have been in rebellion for 2 days already. Then they need sleep all the more now. I tell you, Jack Cade the clothier means to refit the Commonwealth, turn it inside out, and put a new surface on it. He needs to, because it is worn threadbare. Well, I say England has never been merry since gentlemen rose to power. What a miserable age. Skilled tradesmen get no respect for their virtue. The nobility are too proud to wear leather aprons. More than that, the king's council are no good at honest work. True. Yet people say, work at your calling, which is the same as saying, let magistrates be working men. So we ought to be magistrates. You have hit the point exactly, for there is no better sign of a brave mind than a hard hand. I see them. I see them. There is Best's son, the tanner of Wingham. He shall have the skin of our enemies to make dog leather from. And there is Dick the butcher. Then sin is knocked down like an ox, and wickedness has its throat cut like a calf. And Smith the weaver. Therefore their thread of life is spun out. Come, come, let us join them. A drum sounds. Cade enters with Dick the butcher, Smith the weaver, a sawyer, and countless followers carrying long staves. We John Cade, so named after our supposed father, or rather after stealing a barrel of herrings. For our enemies shall fall before us, since we are inspired with the spirit of overthrowing kings and princes. Command silence. Silence! My father was a Mortimer. He was an honest man and a good bricklayer. My mother was a Plantagenet. I knew her well. She was a midwife. My wife is descended from the Lacys. Indeed, she was a peddler's daughter, and sold many laces. But lately, since she cannot travel with her furred pack, she washes dirty clothes here at home. Therefore I come from an honourable house. Yes, by my faith, the field is honourable, and that is where he was born, under a hedge, because his father never had any house but the cage. I am valiant. He has to be. Beggary is valiant. I can endure a great deal. No question of that. I have seen him whip 3 market days in a row. He neither sword nor fire. He does not need to fear the sword, because his coat is armour-proof. But I think he should fear fire, since he was branded on the hand for stealing sheep. Be brave then, for your captain is brave and vows reform. In England, 7 halfpenny loaves shall be sold for 1 penny, a 3-hooped pot shall have 10 hoops, and I will make it a felony to drink weak beer. The whole realm shall be held in common, and my riding horse shall graze in Cheapside. And when I am king, as king I will be. God save your majesty. I thank you, good people. There shall be no money. Everyone shall eat and drink at my expense, and I will dress them all in one uniform, so they may agree like brothers and worship me as their lord. The first thing we do, let us kill all the lawyers. Yes, that is exactly what I mean to do. Is it not a pitiful thing that parchment should be made from the skin of an innocent lamb, and that parchment, once scribbled over, should ruin a man? Some say the bee stings, but I say it is the bee's wax, for I only sealed one document once, and I have never been my own man since. What now? Who is there? Some men enter, bringing in the clerk of Chartham. The clerk of Chartham. He can write and read and do arithmetic. Oh, monstrous! We caught him setting copy lessons for boys. Here is a villain. He has a book in his pocket with red letters in it. Then he is a conjurer. No worse, he can make bonds and write in court hand. I am sorry for it. The man is a fine-looking man, on my honour. Unless I find him guilty, he shall not die. Come here, fellow. I must examine you. What is your name? Emmanuel. They used to write that at the top of letters. Things will go hard for you. Leave him to me. Do you usually write your name? Or do you have a mark of your own like an honest plain-dealing man? Sir, I thank God, I was brought up well enough that I can write my name. He has confessed. Away with him. He is a villain and a traitor. Away with him, I say. Hang him with his pen and ink, horn around his neck. One man exits with the clerk. Michael enters. Where is our general? Here I am, you particular fellow. Run, run, run! Sir Humphrey Stafford and his brother are close by with the king's forces. Stand still, villain, stand, or I will knock you down. He shall be faced by a man as good as himself. He is only a knight, is he? No. To match him, I will make myself a knight this instant. Cade kneels. Rise up, Sir John Mortimer. Cade rises. Now let us meet him. Sir Humphrey Stafford and his brother enter with a drum and soldiers. Rebellious peasants, filth and scum of Kent, marked for the gallows, lay down your weapons. Go home to your cottages and abandon this low fellow. The king will be merciful if you turn back. But he will be angry, wrathful, and ready for blood if you go on. So surrender, or die. As for these silk-coated slaves, I do not care about them. It is to you, good people, that I speak, over whom I hope to reign in time to come, for I am the rightful heir to the crown. Villain, your father was a plasterer, and you yourself are a cloth. Shearer, are you not? And Adam was a gardener. And what of that? Why this, Edmund Mortimer, Earl of March, married the Duke of Clarence's daughter, did he not? Yes, sir. By her he had 2 children at one birth. That is false. Yes, that is the question, but I say it is true. The elder child, when sent out to be nursed, was stolen away by a beggar woman, and knowing nothing of his birth or parentage, became a bricklayer when he grew up. I am his son. Deny it if you can. No, it is too true, therefore he shall be king. Sir, he built a chimney in my father's house, and the bricks are still alive today to testify to it. Therefore do not deny it. Will you believe the words of this low drudge, who does not know what he is saying? Yes, by Mary, we will, so get out of here. Jack Cade, the Duke of York, taught you this. He lies, for I invented it myself. Go on, fellow. Tell the king for me that, for his father's sake, Henry V, in whose time boys played at counters for French crowns, I am willing that he shall reign, but I will be protector over him. And furthermore, we will have the Lord Say's head for selling the dukedom of Maine. And good reason, for by that England has been maimed and forced to walk with a staff, except that my power holds it up. Fellow kings, I tell you that Lord Say has gelded the Commonwealth and made it a eunuch. More than that, he can speak French, and therefore he is a traitor. Oh, gross and miserable ignorance! No, answer if you can. The Frenchmen are our enemies. So then I ask only this, can a man who speaks with the tongue of an enemy be a good counselor or not? No, no, and therefore we will have his head. Well, since gentle words will not work, attack them with the king's army. Herald, go, and in every town proclaim as traitors all who have risen with Cade, so that those who run away before the battle ends may be hanged at their own doors, in front of their wives and children, as an example. And all of you who are the king's friends, follow me. The 2 Staffords and the soldiers exit. And all of you who love the commons, follow me. Now show yourselves men. This is for liberty. We will not leave one lord or one gentleman alive. Spare no one except those who wear patched shoes, for they are thrifty, honest men, and would take our side if only they dared. They are all in formation and marching toward us. Then we are most in order when we are most out of order. Come, march forward. They all exit.
And there we pause, with the last honest man dead and the whole frame of order cracking. Humphrey is murdered, Suffolk is butchered, the Cardinal has died in horror, and the king poor, holy, helpless Henry can do nothing but weep and pray as his kingdom slides toward the abyss. And rising out of the ruin comes the grotesque carnival of Jack Cade, York's hired storm, marching on London with a mob at his back and murder in his mouth. Next time, in the last part, a city sacked by the Rabble, a lord's head on a pole, a rebel's lonely death, and the first true battle of the Wars of the Roses. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.